Welcome back everyone to another showcase, and today we're going to be reviewing the Dynamic Transport mod by Tarig, because this is a very old mod from what I recall when I used to watch Popular MMO. He did cover it, and it was very sophisticating, but it did look quite chunky, but it still functioned. And the Dynamic Transport mod is sort of like an elevator mod. And I know there is a 1.15.2 version and higher. I might be able to try that version, but I'm just going to see how this one still holds up if anybody still try to build an elevator just to get from one place to the next, or instead of just using very lazy ways of transportation, such as jumping on a piece of wool that has embedded ender pearls in, you can just actually build something that looks visually appealing as if it does look like an elevator. And we have a new option. Okay, no, that's the armors. I was trying to use that for like setup, props, and whatever. So I have to see what blocks are added in this because I have to check. Okay, yeah, so we have elevator blocks, elevator computer, the floor marker block, and the elevator tool. And I'm pretty sure redstone is going to be used in this case, and probably a redstone torch, and maybe a lever, just to be extra sure. I don't think there's any directions, but we're going to learn this because even though this is an old mod, but I'm very intrigued with how am I going to build this elevator, because this is something new despite being very old. So let me see here. So it's gonna feel very weird because I got to keep changing my POV. Let me just try to fix something real quick. Yeah, because this is kind of strange. Let me capture a specific window, and it's gonna be this version of Minecraft. There we go. So you guys can actually see like what I'm working with here. So I can just, access what I see. So if I go on the mod page, I had to see if there's like any information that tells the player of how to use it. But what I see here is just a video. So it says a proper elevator mod, slime void library. Yeah, I did have to install the mod called the slime void library because it doesn't come with the curse forge. So you're going to have to actually search for the library if you do tend to install it. But I may include the link to that one just in case, since that is going to be very important with this mod. And update says buttons in mobile redstone. So I guess they allow redstone for the newer versions. So the features, well, I'm just going to see how this is going to work because I never tried it before, but I did see Popular MMOs tried it, but I'm just going to learn it. Elevator doors, sliding doors with camo texture, much like carpenter's blocks. Okay, free to download. Sounds cool. So let's just resume with the experiment. We're going to try to see how this changes everything. So let me just place some blocks. Well, place some elevator blocks. You can't really hear it. That's kind of strange. This is the elevator computer. I'm believing this thing is probably important. Also, did I mute my stuff? No. Why does it sound like that? So they don't have no sound at all. That's intriguing. So let me see. So if, say for example, I want to put it right here, does this need redstone? I'm really trying to see how this works. We got the elevator remote tool. Entering maintenance mode. Elevator maintenance complete. So I guess this means it's in maintenance, probably like a warning signal. I'm really trying to see how this works. Is it gonna go up? Is it gonna work? Okay, block cannot be bound to elevator. Must bend at least one elevator block. So is this like this one? I'm just learning, guys. Okay, so it's matching with the floor. That's intriguing. So let me place that down. So it's still in maintenance mode, right? I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? It doesn't really tell me like too much about how to build it. I'm gonna figure this out. Don't worry. So I believe it's like this. This is a 5x5. And I want this platform. I mean, I'm looking at the blocks here. Let me see how these are crafted. Pearls, elevator blocks. So I guess this is like a smart piece. And then this is a floor marker. I think floor markers are probably just little things that probably indicate like what floor I'm on. I mean, this is quite intriguing. Like I'm really trying to see like how is this gonna like be helpful if anybody wants to use elevators. But it's still pretty weird that I have to try to figure this out. I could use the tutorial, but let me see how my brain is going to solve this. Okay. And then, do I have to like place more of these? Do I have to like place a lot of these? Or is it just like one at a time? And then I use the remote elevator block. So let me just see what it is. I'm not sure if they're talking about like just an elevator block and then just elevator block cannot be bound, computer is missing. So the computer is needed. Can I like put it to a floor? I'm really trying to see how this works. Okay, is it gonna work now? I don't know. Let me see something. I don't know if it has to be like something like this. I have to try to see because this is very intriguing. So, okay. I'm going to try to look at the video just to see like how do they build it because I really want to see how this build and let me just set it today because I want to see how the science works for this thing because I'm going to get it to work and try to process this based on like what's going on here. And the elevator tool is lapis, redstone, glass pane, and a piece of string. But I'm literally trying to see like what else is missing because all I have is these two I'll say these two blocks, then you got a floor. But I think the floor marker is just a decoration or maybe an indicator, and then elevator block. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look at a video, but don't worry, I will still credit the video because it actually helps me to try to click this together because I remember Popular MMO did it before, but I couldn't remember the instruction. So I had to literally try to figure this out. So let me just do some research and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I have watched the clip and I will give the person the credit for doing it and showcasing it. So I'm pretty much just revisiting this mod because it's still pretty used, but I just want to see how this is going to work. All right, so I think all I just got to do is click, like they said, just right click all of these. So I'm not sure, it's like, do I have to like click each and every one of these and then it saves? I'm just seeing if I'm like doing it right or what. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to understand this. Okay, so it's in maintenance mode. This is so strange. So it's in maintenance mode right now. I'm just going to put that there. Okay, now we're in maintenance mode. Okay, so now this is what we're seeing. So this is how we've been to the elevator. So you only just need one computer. And then I have to place some blocks because we're still working on it. And I think this is what they say you need to add some floor markers. But I'm not sure you can actually enter the same floor marker for here, though. I'm not sure that's how it works, but you got to place it like right here. And then you can also disguise it too. Yeah, you can actually disguise the block. That's actually pretty cool. So you can add like a little cover for it. And then we're going to put a marker right here. And I think we're supposed to also click these two. That's also bended. And this is also bended. And then I think that's when we click. Okay. Okay, it's bended. And then the maintenance is complete. And I think all we gotta do is click. And now we can interact with it. Now we can go up. Yeah, it does feel like a very it's very janky and it feels very complex when it first come down to like learning it. But I gotta give that person credit just for the elevator. I mean, you could probably make it to, I guess, any design, but let me just see though. And what's wrong with this block? Why does this look like that? I don't know why it looked like that. All right. See, you can also see like it's like marked there too. That is quite strange. So let me see if I break this and I get into maintenance mode. Will this still work even if I remove that one block? I just want to see. Yep, it still works even if you remove a block, as long as it's bended. But I want to see if we can also add, like glass. Let's see. So, no. Let me just try going back down. I'm just doing this for science. Because this might be the first elevator before create. But let me just see. Aw, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. But it's not gonna happen. You can also make very neat designs with this too. Like, if I just unclaim, like, I could probably make it where, like, all this is, like, blocked out. And I could just place, like, say, like, just make, like, some sort of nice little neat design. But I'm just going to say it's going to be very, like, sophisticated looking, but it's going to look very interesting. So let me just build this. But I'm just going to say, I remember this elevator mod precisely during popular MMOs times. Like, he used to showcase this, and I watched him. I was like, wow, you can actually make an elevator in this game? And then when I bought the game, I was like, oh, I can't make an elevator. And then I learned there was mod in Minecraft, and I think that's when I learned about Optivine. And Optivine is really interesting during that time. So let me just place some, like, lava, for example. I think the stuff is immune to it, but let me just try. So now we have that. Let's click. Are you gonna work? Okay, I think I kind of got my hopes up. Yeah, I kind of got my hopes up, guys. I thought I was gonna make like a very nice design just to, you know, make it feel worth, but it seems like it doesn't work. It has to probably be like a full block. But this is definitely a learning experience. And I think you can also decorate it too to make it have some feel. But I think if I do go up, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like cause more damage. And let me see too. Can we let's see. Let me just add. Okay, let me just maintenance complete. Yeah, let me just click all you back because I think it has to be at least like a full block, but I think one can be ignored. And then we go up the level. Can we? Okay, so you can kind of see it worked, but You can actually see it kind of worked, but it still glitched through. That's the interesting part. That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, this is how you mess up your elevator too. Like, you don't want to do that. Don't do that, guys. I was just doing it just to see how this elevator is going to hold out. But that is basically the whole dynamic transport mod. It's basically just a nice useful elevator, but it turns out you can also mess it up. But it does create a little bit of a nice sense of it. And I would have to clean this up too, because I also want to see if I can make a thumbnail based on this. Because this elevator mod does take me back. But if you guys enjoy so far, then I'm very thankful that you enjoy the showcase. And you guys can also download it in the description so you guys can try it for yourself if you ever decide to play 1.7.10. But until then, I'll see you guys next time with another showcase, and I will be doing some more research of other mods. But until then, see you guys next time with me.